everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me on this another thali recipe. In this video, I'm gonna share with you royal thali recipe because whenever you have special occasion or if you want to make special dinner for your loved ones, you can use this recipe. And I try to come up with a recipe which doesn't require much time in the kitchen. Also, I have shared many thali recipe before, so I'm gonna link everything down below in the description box. So don't forget to check that out. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start. So first of all, I'm gonna prepare langar wali dal, which you can find it at the Gurudwara. So for that, I need half a cup chana dal and 1 cup of urad dal. Urad dal, I'm using here one with the skin on it. I'm gonna combine both of them, wash it, and then soak it in the water for about 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I'm gonna transfer that into pressure cooker, add salt as well as little bit of turmeric powder, and then we're gonna wait for about 2 whistles. We just need to make sure here that the dal doesn't get mushy. So this dal doesn't take that long to prepare, as well as especially on the second day, it tastes really good. On this other side, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare tadka for the dal. So for that, I'm using ghee. And since this is the royal thali, of course, everything tastes better with the ghee. So after that, I'm gonna add the cumin seeds. Once the cumin seed crackle, I'm gonna add the asafoetida. Next, I will be adding green chilies. Now, if you don't like spicy food, you don't have to add the green chilies. You can just add the red chili powder. And also, I'm adding ginger paste. Now, in this entire recipe, there is no garlic at all. So, if you are someone who doesn't like garlic, this is the perfect dal recipe for you. After sauteing that just for a few seconds, next I will be adding the tomato. Now, this is 2 cups of tomato. I need to cook this until tomato is completely mushy and the oil is separated. So now as you can see the oil is separated. I'm gonna add the red chili powder as well as the dhania jeera powder. Mix everything very well and that's it. The main masala is ready for the dal. So as you can see, the dal is completely cooked. It's not mushy at all. And at this point, I'm going to transfer the masala that I prepare on the other side. Mix everything very well. Add salt to taste. And if the consistency of this dal is way too thick for you, you can always add water. Let that simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes and that's about it. The dal is all done. As you see, it's very easy to prepare, but believe me guys, this dal tastes so good, especially the second day. Even the kids were asking if I have the leftover, they would love to eat this dal with the rice. So do try this recipe and I'm not sure how many times I will say this in this video because all the recipe came out so good. So try this recipe, send me the picture and share your experience with me. So next I will prepare sabji and that is the veggie makhan wala and yes I'm using the ghee for that. So first of all I'm gonna saute all the vegetables because I don't want that boiled flavor into my vegetable. So for that first of all I took the potato because that takes the longer to cook. Once they are 70% done, I'm gonna add all other vegetables. Now any kind of combination of the vegetables that you can use it for this recipe where I have broccoli, carrot, as well as the cauliflower. I boil them so they are about 50% done here. But again, just not to have that boiled flavor, I'm gonna saute that with the potato. Next, I will add the bell pepper. Now, these are the yellow and the red bell pepper, but you can use any kind of one that you have it. No big deal. It just different colors, of course. It looks nice, but other than that, of course, they all taste same. So, after sautéing all of them together for just a minute or so, I'm gonna add some spices. So, first of all, I will add the salt because, of course, without the salt, nothing tastes better. And here I do have the Kitchen King masala. So I'm just going to sprinkle that a little bit onto this vegetables because again, when you eat the vegetables, you want some flavor into it. And now it's time to prepare the gravy for this sabji. So first of all, I'm going to add the butter into the pan. And yes, it's too much butter, too much ghee. पर भाई ये रॉयल खाना है तो रॉयल खाने में बटर तो ज़्यादा चाहिए ही चाहिए हमें. Next, I will add the chopped onions and I'm gonna saute that just for about 5 minutes. Next, I will add the peppercorn oil. Now, this is totally optional, but I found this at the supermarket, so I thought let me buy it and see how it is. This oil was spicy as well as I want the sabji to be spicy. That's the reason I'm adding it. And right after I add it, you will see that the onion changed the color and it had that aftertaste spiciness, which I like it. It's not like once you eat the sabji it's gonna be spicy right away, but वो सब्जी का एक आफ्टर टेस्ट होता है जो खाना खाने के बाद आपको थोड़ा तीखापन लगता है, वो वाला उसका टेस्ट था. उसके बाद here I'm gonna add the ginger paste as well as little bit of green chilies. Again, green chilies is up to you. If you don't like that spicy, you don't have to add the green chilies. Also adding the cashew as well as the garlic. After letting this saute for a few minutes, I'm gonna add the tomato. This is 2 cups of chopped tomato, and now I'm gonna cook the tomato until oil is not separated and the tomato is completely cooked. So now as you can see, the oil is separated as well as the tomato is cooked. I'm gonna add all the dry spices. So dhania jeera powder, red chili powder, as well as the haldi powder. Once I cook that for about 2 minutes, I'm gonna transfer that into the jar, and before transferring, you want to make sure that it's cooled down completely. At this point, I'm gonna add the water so then I can blend it properly. After blending properly, I'm going to transfer that into the same pan. At this point, we don't need to add any oil or the butter. Also, I'm adding the whipped cream. Now, this is the heavy whipping cream. If you don't have this, you can always add the full fat milk also in this. Mix everything very well and let that simmer for about 10 minutes. Secret ingredients for this recipe is this cream of mushroom soup. You can find this at any grocery store. You don't need to add any water or anything, just add straight to the gravy, and believe me, it's gonna add that another level of richness to this gravy and it's gonna taste so good. All you need is half of can, mix everything very well, cover this and let that simmer on very low flame for about 15 minutes. After 20 minutes, I'm going to add salt to taste, a little bit of garam masala as well as Kitchen King masala, kasturi methi, mix everything very well, and then I'm going to transfer all the vegetables that we cook. Next, I will add the green peas as well as this sabji cannot be completed if you don't add the pineapple. Pineapple is the star of the sabji And no, it's not the optional. You had to add that. As you can see, I do have small chunks of pineapple. It's not gonna make this sabji too sweet, but yes, it's gonna enhance all the flavor. And if you ask me that out of all this recipe which I'm sharing you in this video, which one is my most favorite one, then I would say definitely this sabji, because it came out so good, guys. And I wish, we have that kind of technology where you can smell it. At this point, my entire house was smelling so good. So now, as you can see, oil is separated. That means our veggie makhan wala is all done. And do try this recipe, guys. This one was out of this world. It was so perfect. Next, it's time for me to make the other sabji. So this is the Lahori Paneer sabji. It is like a taba style sabji. So for that, first of all, I'm gonna add the ghee as well as oil. I'm using this peppercorn oil. You can use just a regular oil, that's fine. And if you're not big fan of the ghee, you can make this entire sabji in oil, that's fine. Next, I will add the cumin seed. Once the cumin seed is crackled, I'm gonna add chopped garlic. Garlic in this recipe is a must. So don't hesitate, guys. Go ahead and add all that garlic in there. Next, I'm gonna add the chopped onions. Now, in this recipe, more onion is better. So I do have about 3 cups of chopped onions, and you want to make sure that it's finely chopped. Once the onion is sauteed for about 2 minutes, I'm gonna add the tomato. Now I do have 2 cups of chopped tomato here. And then I'm gonna add all the dry spices. So first of all, I'm gonna add the turmeric powder as well as the red chili powder. I'm also adding a little bit kitchen king masala here. And this sabji, it's gonna be like a chutpati style sabji. So I'm also adding the chaat masala and a little bit of the garam masala. So this is my chaat masala. I'm just gonna go ahead and add that into the sabji. And this is the garam masala. Since there is a chaat masala into this gravy, you want to be careful when you add salt because chaat masala do have the salt in it. Once the masala is cooked and the oil is separated, at that point I'm gonna add the water. Let that simmer for about 2 minutes. And then I'm gonna add the tomato paste. Now if you don't have it, you don't have to add it, but basically it's gonna thicken up the gravy as well as the color of this gravy will change and it looks really nice. So here gravy has been simmering from last 5 to 7 minutes. At this point I'm gonna add the kasturi methi. I'm taking about half a tablespoon, crush it between palm, add it to the gravy, let that sit there for a minute or so, and then I'm gonna add the paneer. Here I cut the paneer lengthwise. You can cut it however you like it. Once you add the paneer, you want to turn off the stove because if you keep it on the flame for too long, then the paneer gets chewy, which we don't want it. So right after I add the paneer, I turn off the stove. And yes, this paneer sabji came out good, but still my favorite one is the veggie makhan wala. Of course, kids love this sabji. But still, my favorite one is the other one. And now it's time to make a dough for naan. So for that, I'm taking 1 cup of maida, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon salt, and 1/4 teaspoon sugar. If you are making naan to go with any sabji, then I would highly suggest that make a dough before you start cooking because we need to let this dough rest for at least 3 to 4 hours. Next, I will add 1.5 tablespoon oil. After mixing everything, I'm gonna add 1/4 cup plain yogurt. Now, once you add the yogurt into it, you will not need that much water to make this dough very soft. But in case if you need it, just add a little bit at a time. So at this point now, I'm gonna cover it and put it in the oven, turn the light on. So basically you wanna keep this in the warmer place. And I'm gonna make this naan on a skillet. So for this, you don't want to use any non-stick skillet. As you can see, my skillet is very worn out, and that is the another reason I kept it, because to make the naan, you do want to use this kind of skillet. So here, as you can see, I'm rolling that. So you want naan to be not too thick, not too thin, and you can make any shape. I'm just making the triangle here. I'm also gonna add a little bit cilantro on top. You can also add the chopped garlic, roll it so that way everything stick together. And then the side that is gonna go on top of the tawa, you wanna apply a little bit of water so that way it can stick to the tawa. So after a minute or so, as you can see, there is a bubble popping. So that means the other side is cooked. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and flip that and cook on this other side. So you just want to basically just keep checking it, make sure that it's not getting burned and it's being cooked from all the side. And after a minute or two, this is how it looks like, and that's it. After that, you just want to apply ghee on top, and the naan is all done. And now it's time to make a rice. So for that, I took ghee, add cumin seed. Once the cumin seed crackle, add green peas. Let that saute just for a minute or so, and then I'm gonna add the white rice. Now, if you want to know how I make my white rice, then I do have the separate video which I'm gonna link it down below in the description box. Add a little bit salt as well as cilantro, and that's about it. Our rice is all done. And now it's a dessert time, the recipe which you all guys been waiting for. So this is mango cream. I do have half a cup plain yogurt here. I hang it so there is no water in it at all. I'm gonna first of all whisk this so there is no lumps as well as it's gonna be fluffy. And next I will add the 1 cup of cream. Now if you are in India, you can use Amul cream. If not, घर की जो मलाई होती है वो भी आप use कर सकते हो. And if you are here in the state, you can always use the whipped cream. So after mixing both of them very well, I'm gonna add about 4 tablespoons powdered sugar. You do want to make sure you are using powdered sugar and not the regular one, so it can get dissolved very easily and quickly also. Once the sugar is dissolved completely, I'm gonna add mango pulp. So I do have half a cup mango pulp here. Again, mix everything very well, and here I do have chopped grapes. I chopped that very finely, as well as pistachio, almond, and the cashews. So all the things I chopped that very finely, and now I'm gonna go ahead and add that into this cream. So you can use any kind of fruits, any kind of nuts that you like it, but of course a combination of all this stuff tastes really good. And last, I'm gonna go ahead and add pomegranate seed. Again, it's gonna add that crunch as well as it's gonna look really nice. Once everything is mixed properly, I'm gonna cover this and then put it in the refrigerator for another hour. So that way, everything will get mixed properly and then it will thicken up too. And now it's time to assemble. So this is how I like it. I like to serve in an individual cup. Of course, you can just serve it in a one big pot, but if you do it this way, it looks really nice. So first of all, I'm gonna just go ahead and add the cream into all this cup. Next, I will add chopped mango as well as pomegranate seeds, almond, cashew, and the pistachio. As you saw, this dessert is so easy to make, but especially during the mango season, it cannot be get easier than this, guys. Do try this recipe. As you see visually, it looks so tempting, and believe me, once you try this, you will keep making it, because after I made this, it was gone that time, and the very second day I made it again for all of us because it was that good. So do try this recipe, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed all these recipes, and as I mentioned before, leave the comments below and let me know if you have tried my recipe, what you think about it. Send me the picture or tag me on Instagram, because I love to hear from you guys. So I cannot recommend this recipes enough, because I try to make the easy recipe for you guys, because who wants to spend hours and hours in the kitchen, especially during the summertime. So this is it, guys. My entire table is set. I made this menu for my 17th anniversary. So the paneer sabji, veggie makhan wala, dal is there. I also made the Dahi Vada, and I do have separate recipe for that, which I'm gonna link it down below, because if I would include in this video would get so long. So that video, I will link it down below in the description box. But thank you so much for watching this. Take care, guys, and I will see you guys soon in my next video. Bye.